Yo guys, it's Haunting Lime and welcome back to my channel. Today, with the recent nerfs and buffs, I can't even speak, with the recent changes, I'm bringing a triple meme weather ball team. So I'm pairing that up with Abomasnow in the lead because Abomasnow is an absolute beast. This is the shadow variant for the first set. I'll use the normal one for the regular one, for the next set, sorry. And then obviously Politoad with the recent changes with weather ball. It's amazing, it's so spammy. Ideal moveset for Politoad actually is Earthquake, not Blizzard, but you know what, I don't have an elite TM to actually use, and I'm pairing that up with the Pelliper, which is ranked fairly decently. So guys, before anything, please subscribe, click the bell notification, and also like the video. It really helps out and helps me bring content out daily. So the team performed pretty well. It is a meme team. I did think Politoad would do better, but I think I don't have the ideal moveset, so this is more like just kind of play testing, having fun. And you know what, there was so many spicy picks out yesterday with all the recent changes. It was actually quite fun to play. So obviously Abomasnow into a Alola Ninetales isn't the greatest because obviously my weather balls won't do anything to it, so I do switch into my safe swap Politoad. Ideally I did think the safe swap would be Pelliper, but it wasn't. As you can see, the one chance or the one time actually Blizzard comes in handy is against this Mantine, and it does so much damage. It actually helps me win switch, which is great. So this team was actually really fun. I did think the team would do a little bit better than it did, but you know what, I had an absolute blast using the team. And you know what, Abomasnow is one of my favorite Pokemon. I like using it in the Great League. It's actually helped me climb so much in the past, and recently started using Pelliper and obviously pairing that with Politoad. It was just so much spamming of weather balls. It was just so much fun. And hopefully my next video I'll show like a really safe, tanky staple team. That's quite good. But then I'm gonna also try to make Ninetales work as well. So here I'm just gonna go for the weather balls because at this point I am debuffed. My opponent does want to keep switch, so I do get a shield from him, but this actually allows me to farm down with this Pelliper. The reason why I didn't go Abomasnow, even though I probably should have, is because I want to get Pelliper with a bit of energy, and also the wing attacks from the so-called Mantine would have actually done a decent bit of damage. So my opponent actually brings in his little Ninetales, so obviously I'm going to shield this weather ball. It will do a decent amount of damage, even though it is fairly neutral, but because I'm also able to get to my own weather balls really quickly, this should actually do quite a lot of damage to the Ninetales, and it does shield it. So now my opponent is shieldless. Great. So all I have to do now is to switch out, catch this weather ball, which I thought wouldn't do a lot of damage, but it did so much. My opponent actually has Medicham in the back as well, so this is not looking to not off to a great start. But because I'm able to get this weather ball off against this Medicham, I'm able to also get this weather ball off as well. I'll be saying weather ball constantly, guys, so yeah, you'll probably get sick of it by the end of it. I'm able to actually farm down this Medicham and have loads of energy. Ice Punch won't take me out, but I'm just going to shield anyway because it's best to kind of keep myself alive. It could have been Psychic, so it was a good shield, and obviously now I'm able to get to the next weather ball here as well. So this should take out the Alola Ninetales. Yeah, this team was a hell of a lot of fun to use. Probably with the changes, there was a lot of Medichams out there yesterday, a lot of Umbreons. You know, I was surprised to see Medicham, but then I realized Medicham is actually ranked 1 in PV Poke, and people love PV Poke. So often another bad lead against Fetched. So I go straight into my Pelliper because it was the best option I had. Leaf Blade would have done quite a lot of damage to my own Politoad, so I was like, yeah, this is probably the best thing I can do right now. So my opponent actually brings out his Dugong, where I go straight Hurricane. Hurricane chunks away at the Dugong, which is brilliant because now I can actually weather ball it from here, and I should be able to take it out, or almost take it out. So this weather ball goes through, and obviously the debuff does hurt a bit because if I wasn't debuffed, I would have actually been able to take it out, which is fine. I've lost switch here, but the Dugong is in that range where it can be farmed down. I did bring in my Abomasnow to kind of catch this Icy Wind, which does a lot more than I thought it would. My Abomasnow obviously isn't ranked that great. Its IVs are proper terrible. We simultaneously swap him. My opponent brings out a Surfetched, and I think he didn't realize my next Pokemon was actually a Politoad, so he blind switched into his Diggersby because obviously he has a really bad matchup, and you will see this Politoad absolutely go to town against this Diggersby. It'll spam so many moves, and obviously fire blast, not fire blast, fire punch is resistant to Politoad, so I don't have to worry about anything right now. And ideally I should have built up more energy here, but I didn't want my opponent to get to the earthquake, so I did throw here. This will actually allow the Surf Edge to come in now, and Surf Edge does quite a lot of damage to this Politoad. Even though Politoad is fairly tanky, my Politoad is ranked really well. It's really tanky. It's still not doing great against counter. So this Leaf Blade does get shielded. My opponent still has 2 shields. So this is looking like one of those games where it's going to be an instant GG. But because Politoad is such a great energy generator, well, it's so great at pumping out these energy balls, sorry, weather balls. I'm able to get both shields, and I just about have enough energy on this Abomasnow to get the win. So really good swap by me there, just kind of capitalize on at the end, but it was looking pretty dicey. So on to the next game. So yeah, this team, even though it's fairly even though it's fairly meme team, it did surprisingly well. It helped me climb. Obviously not the highest rankings. As you can see, Politoad as the safe switch, it acts as a safe switch because I don't want to get something like an electric tap to just farm down my Pelliper. So again, off to a really bad lead, but this Politoad can actually do a fair amount to this little Raichu before it goes down. The reason I didn't shield here is because my opponent obviously threw he's going to throw a Volt Switch, sorry, not a Volt Switch, a Wild Charge, and that will also debuff it, and now I can bring my Abomasnow to farm it down. But my opponent actually has 2 Wild Charges, so not great. I am going to also take it because I've got a really terrible matchup against the Medicham, and now my opponent's going to bring it back in, and I switch instantly to my Pelliper. But look what's in the back, another counter. So this team faced so many counters, like literally every team out there was just, you know, built around this. But what I am going to be able to do is take out this bloody Bastardon with the weather balls. So spam those weather balls, Pelliper. That's what you're good at. Pelliper is fairly tanky. It can do a lot of damage. The reason I shield there because my Abomasnow has a really bad matchup against the so-called, I can't remember the name now. Yeah, the name is just totally gone from my head. Against the Bastardon. So I am able to take it down, but obviously I'm so low at this point. I do bring in my Abomasnow, and I do have a shield here, but even though I'm able to get to this weather ball, it really won't. It won't be enough to take it out. So great game by my opponent, and also my opponent has a shield too. So yeah, my opponent played that really well. He had the right counters in place. It was one of those games where it was unwinnable. So well played. On to the next game, and again, so many Medichams out there yesterday. This team had the roughest time. I might try this team out again in the coming days when the meta kind of stabilizes. Even though the meta has changed a little bit, the changes weren't that great. It makes a very small difference. I mean, they nerfed Zoomrill, but they also nerfed G-Fisk, so all the counters, and G-Fisk isn't a counter, but like Sky Attack, the nerfed Sky Attack, so it's like all the counters got nerfs and all the like big players got nerfs too. So as you can see, I used Blizzard again. Not the best move. Earthquake would have done so much more damage here, but it's the only move I had. So I am able to obviously get this Dugong into that range where I can actually almost take it out, or give it, or bring it really low, because Dugong is so tanky and it spams these icy winds where it just debuffs you completely. It isn't great. I'm not a big fan of facing against Dugong. Dugong itself is a great Pokemon, but I hate seeing it in the so-called Medicham lineup because it's really strong. It does really well. But yeah, like I said, Politoad just spams out these weather balls constantly for mud shots. So I'm actually able to take out this Dugong and win back switch, and that actually will help me potentially win the game. Let's have a look. And I'm able to also get to another weather ball before it gets taken out. So Politoad putting in work. He does get taken out now, but I do have obviously my Pelliper in the back. So winning switch was really, really important for me, because now Pelliper is lined up with the Medicham, and Medicham only has Ice Punch as its main damaging move, and my wing attacks are actually going to start chipping away at the Medicham. So this is great, and obviously Weather Ball is going to do quite a bit of damage to Medicham. Medicham is very tanky, but you know, Weather Ball is such a low energy cost move, but it does a fair amount of damage. Opponent switches out into his G-Fisk. I want to stay in this match because I know I can get to these weather balls really quickly, and it will almost do half of the G-Fisk's health, and now I'm switching to my Abomasnow because I know Abomasnow can tank one Rock Slide, and that's more than enough to kind of get to my own Weather Ball and take out the G-Fisk. The reason obviously why I brought Abomasnow is obviously because it has a really bad matchup against the Medicham. Medicham is almost able to farm me down, but thankfully I do get to another Weather Ball, and this should take it out, but it gets the last shield, so that Abomasnow came in clutch at the end. Obviously I don't need to even worry about getting to the next charge move because my opponent surrenders. I would have fast moved it down anyway. So team putting in work against all the counters. So this is a game where I was like, what spice is this? Seeing a Confusion Psyduck, sorry, Golduck, and my cousins decided to, or my friends decided to have like a WhatsApp call or conference now, so they just can go off as well. But yeah, seeing the spice and Confusion is chunking away. I am trying to get to the energy ball against my opponent, but he does invest both shields. He wants to keep this Golduck alive, and you know, I can see why, because yeah, double steel team in the back. I was like, I think it's probably a spicy team. I don't have to worry about going up against the meta, but yep, there was meta. In hindsight, if I swapped into my Pelliper, it would have been slightly better, but going Politoad meant that I've got a lot more bulk, and I can actually take these Confusions a lot better, and obviously cross chop would have been ineffective against my Pelliper, but yeah, obviously in hindsight you'll do everything differently, but I am able to obviously do quite a lot of damage to this Golduck with my own Weather Balls, even though it's neutral. So I can take it out, and to my surprise, there's a Registeel in the back. Well, he's coming out now. But yeah, so my opponent actually wasn't using the spices of teams. Golduck was nice, added a bit of spice, but yeah, going full meta in the back. And Registeel is just going to generate so much energy. I do have a pretty good matchup here because I'm able to get two Weather Balls off against it, so I'm able to chunk quite a lot. So what I should have done there was also switch out and not given the G-Fisk any opportunity to farm. The reason why I bring in my Abomasnow is because I'm so close to a Weather Ball here. Any bit of chip damage I can do is great, and obviously it's going to be useless against the Registeel, and it was a CMP type, which is even better, sorry. And now my Abomasnow has basically made the G-Fisk energy dry. Now Pelliper comes in. So my mistake here was not shielding this, because I think I had enough energy to throw the Weather Ball straight away, but if I had shielded earlier and just farmed a bit more here, it would have put me in a better place where I could actually have more life going in, sorry, more health going in against this Registeel, because Registeel is loaded with energy. I knew I could shield one, he wouldn't have two moves ready, but I wasn't sure exactly how much it could tank the flash cannons or the focus blast. So in hindsight, I would have shielded the Rock Slide because it does more damage, but because of the so-called move updates, I wasn't sure if that's 5 difference of damage would still do so much damage. But yeah, G-Fisk is still an absolute beast. So well played to my opponent. Went 3 wins this round, or this set, sorry. So teamed really well. It helped me climb. But yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun to use. Now on to the next game, second set, and now I'm using a regular Abomasnow to kind of see if this actually has a little bit better matchup. My opponent has an Umbreon, which isn't great because Umbreon is super tanky, and I am building up to the energy ball here because I want to get a defense drop, but because it only has a 10% chance, it's pretty unlikely I'm going to get it, and I actually don't get it as well. So not great. I do switch out here. My opponent does shield, which is fine. It's always good to get a shield. I switch out into my Politoad, and this is what I mean, guys. Having Earthquake on Politoad would have been amazing because it would do so much damage against you know, well, not this. I was debating going Blizzard here a few times, just to kind of take out the Skarmory a lot faster, but obviously it is neutral damage, so I would still need to at least utilize 2 Weather Balls. So because I've got so much energy stored on this Politoad, I'm just going to go back-to-back Weather Ball, because that will pretty much do the same thing the Blizzard would have actually accomplished, and probably would have left me with similar amount of health, so maybe it would have been worth using. So it's one of those where I've got to look at it and maybe play it differently the next time around. So yeah, I think Blizzard would have been the more energy efficient move to use there, because everything else is still not, obviously I'm energy dry at the moment now. So up against this Azumarill, the great thing is, because I didn't actually reveal that I've got Blizzard, my opponent shields here. So my opponent was scared of seeing the Earthquake before my Politoad goes down, but because I'm still able to get so much energy before going down, because Politoad is an absolute tank. I'm able to actually spam, I think, a third Weather Ball with so little health against this Azumarill, so I'm able to kind of get it into almost half health. Am I going to get to a fourth? No. Sadly, I wasn't able to get to a fourth. But now I bring in my Abomasnow because this Azumarill is loaded with energy. This Ice Beam won't take me out, and this next one will take me out, but I'm going to shield because I am able to get to my energy ball before my opponent. My opponent does a great swap into Zumbreon, and I switch out immediately into my Pelliper. I got a few phone calls here, so my opponent actually got two foul plays through. Foul plays through. Hence why my so-called life is so low. So this Umbreon is pretty much in that range where I can farm it down, but yeah, he is absolutely loaded, so I can't actually commit. So my opponent does an amazing switch there. He switches out and takes the Powder Snow damage on the Azumarill, and obviously I've got to commit to throwing this this energy ball, but he just about got to the move. So if he hadn't switched, he would have been taken out. And yeah, well played to my opponent. That was an amazing switch, so it helped him win that game. So not looking the greatest off to this game. Again, really terrible lead against this Bastiodon. Switching out into my my Politoad. My opponent also switched out into his Surf Edge. Sorry for the so-called mishaps there. My missus was calling me, and you know, mid-game it's like the worst thing recording. It just cancelled everything. But yeah, I'm able to get all these Weather Balls off against this Surf Edge. But like I said, Surf Edge is going to chunk away, and these Leaf Blades are going to do quite a lot of damage to my health, and it does take me out. The reason I let it go down because I knew my opponent would probably shield anyway. It would have kept the Surf Edge alive, but I bring in this Abomasnow now to kind of farm down as much as possible, because Abomasnow is kind of useless against the Bastiodon. So even if I'm able to get some energy, because obviously people are not playing the triple so-called the grass wall team like they used to with Bastiodon, so the Abomasnow won't have that much work to put in. And now I'm going to bring in my Pelliper to just kind of take out this Bastiodon before I go down myself. So yeah, again, not the right alignment. You hate to see it, but what can you do? It is what it is, especially when you're playing like a team which isn't like the best team out there. Politoad again isn't rocking Earthquake, so it's not really ready to kind of tangle with the big boys. But once I do get the Elite TM, I will actually TM Earthquake onto, because Earthquake would do a lot more work. And I think Politoad is going to be one of those Pokemon you see around a lot more in the Great League. It's super solid, super spammy. It's just an amazing little thing. My opponent also has Wish Cash in the back, so it'll just take me out. So well played to my opponent. So not great. Already 2 losses into this next set. So my opponent actually had the Politoad in the back as his lead. So he switches out into his Galvantula, and because I know my 2 Pokemon in the back are weak to Galvantula, I've got to stay in and just throw these throw these Weather Balls. My opponent does get to the lunge. I am timed this correctly, so I am able to farm as much as possible and also get the get the charging priority as well. And I know my opponent's probably going to most likely double shield because he doesn't want this Galvantula to go down. So my only play here is, because potentially the 3rd lunge will take me out, because obviously I've got to commit both shields too, and here I am able to get this Weather Ball through, but because of the double debuffs, it won't take it out. So I've got to catch a lunge on one of my Pokemon, and thankfully it was a lunge. This charge would have hurt like a bitch. But yeah, lunges obviously bring my so-called attack down, but these Weather Balls will still do quite a bit of damage against this Surf Edge. Obviously Surf Edge has Leaf Blade, so Leaf Blade will chunk away, but I'm able to get this Surf Edge into that half health range, where I can actually farm it down now with my Pelliper. So what do I decide to do? Do I bring in my Abomasnow like an idiot? No, I do bring in my Pelliper, so it was the right choice to make, and most likely this is going to be a nice slash. It'll do a decent amount of damage, but not too much. and I'm able to almost farm it down, but I'm scared of him getting to the second move because Surfetch gets to his charge moves really rapidly. I do switch out back into my own Abomasnow, and because I knew my opponent probably did the same thing, bringing the Leviathan back, I was able to farm it down completely, and this energy ball will take it out. Not take it out, sorry, almost take it out. Obviously Politoad is super tanky. I think he was trying to build up to an earthquake there, because Weather Ball wouldn't have been able to take out the Abomasnow, so I will take that out as well, and that was a good game to my opponent. So a little unfortunate with the, got the good lead, but yeah, it worked out well for me. So again, not off to the best lead again against this Umbreon, but I've got to stay in for a little bit to kind of generate some energy, but we'll see how it goes. See how my opponent does get the first Night Slash through. I do switch out into my Politoad to kind of eat the energy, because obviously I want to keep my Abomasnow healthy. In the past I've obviously left it out there, and yeah, it gets too low. The Foul Blades do chunk away quite a lot, especially 2 if they go through, and the only play obviously is going to rely on the energy ball, which again 10% chance of lowering your opponent's defense is really low, so there's really no point in using it. So I do go down here to the Umbreon, but because Umbreon is in that range now where I can just Weather Ball from here, this should get it really low and almost take it out, and I'm able to actually farm it down completely, which is great. So my opponent actually has a Toxicroak in the back, which isn't great for a Abomasnow because yeah, the counters are going to do quite a lot of damage. So I've got to switch out into my Pelliper. This Pelliper has a really good time against it. My opponent actually has a Hypno in the back, so not great, because if this Hypno is rocking Thunder Punch, this is going to do a lot of damage, and yeah, it is. So my only opportunity right now is to kind of get as many Weather Balls through and kind of time the confusions correctly, because my opponent also has 2 shields too, so this is going to be really close, and obviously my Abomasnow doesn't take quite a lot of damage from the confusions too, and he lets this one go through, and my opponent does get to a charge move here, but I decide to shield because I know I can actually throw another Weather Ball. My opponent actually gets the confusion through, which isn't great, because that would have left me with maybe getting too close, but my opponent does decide to let it go through, which is probably his mistake. I did have a Weather Ball ready here, so my opponent has to commit the shield, and I am able to get this Toxicroak low enough, and he has to throw energy to take me out, otherwise my Powder Snow will take me out, and he actually commits to the Sludge Bomb, which is even better. So now I'm able to fast move it down, which was so close. 1 HP in a dream, made it through, so it worked out in the end for me. And now off again to another bad lead, Abomasnow into Abomasnow. This is one of those matches you hate to see, because yeah, Weather Ball does a fair good amount of damage against the opposing Abomasnow. Thankfully, I'm able to get an extra Powder Snow in, so now I should be able to get to these 2 Weather Balls before my opponent. But for some reason, I tried to do it again because I knew I would shield. Be CMP tied, sorry. I am able to get my first one through. My opponent does an amazing swap and catches this second Weather Ball on his Alolan Marowak, which yeah, my team is ready for, because I've got 2 counters in the back for it. This team was kind of built around the idea that Abomasnow hits Marowak, it's his biggest counter, and the 2 Weather Balls in the back basically is enough coverage to kind of make the Marowak pretty much useless against my team. And as you can see, I'm able to get to 2 Weather Balls, and it almost takes it out. And I'm able to almost farm it down as well. So my opponent only gets to a Bone Club here, so I was kind of like thinking, oh my god, this is going to be a Shadow Bone that's going to take me out. But thankfully it wasn't, and because I had so much energy built up, I'm able to throw this Blizzard against the Azumarill. I was thinking it's going to be the Abomasnow coming back in, but it wasn't. So yeah, all that energy kind of gone to waste. But for some reason, my opponent decides to shield here, even though it's just a Weather Ball. Maybe he thought I got to another Blizzard, but nope. Or maybe because he just had 2 shields to use. But yeah, my opponent is trying to farm me down completely. I'm just going to spam so many Weather Balls at him, it's going to drive him crazy. I do get taken out eventually, but now I decide to come in with my Abomasnow because obviously this Azumarill is loaded, and it is actually a play rough. So I've got to play this correctly now. I am able to get the Weather Balls before my opponent gets to his own charge moves. sorry, the weather balls are quicker to get to my opponent's shadow moves. Here, my opponent switches out, so I had to commit to the farm down. I think my opponent was building up to an energy ball, because weather ball wouldn't have taken me out. He probably should have just gone for it, and I'm able to get the second shield off my opponent with baiting a weather ball, and now it's a race to the can't remember the name. It's the Hurricane, sorry. Yeah, and so it was pretty overkill in the end, but yeah, I was able to win the game in the end. So I managed to go again 3-2 in this set. So this team did really well. It was really fun to play. It helped me climb